kid. I told him you gave them all away.
I have I have a feral cat that gave birth on my patio, and I'm trying to give away cats. Here's one that I want you to go back and practice. This is where you have the cash flows: initial, operating, terminating. You guys remember how to do the discounted payback? They may ask you that, or you can skip over because it takes a lot of time. This one, this problem, you're going to have some form of this because it's IRR, NPV, and profitability index. How this is different versus the earlier example I went through. This is the discounted payback. The payback, you subtract out every single cash flow until your cost is covered, right?
Yep.
The difference is with the discounted payback, you have to discount every single one of these. It takes too much time. So how do you do that? You take the $13,000, divide that by 1 plus R. Then you do the same thing here, 1.08. If you know of a faster way, let me know. Or you can put them in your cash flows, but you can't do them, you have to do them separately as cash flows. You guys remember this? So here's my discounted cash flows. That $13,000, when I discount it for 8%, it's worth $12,037. That $14,000 divided by 1 plus R to the second power, because it's my second year, is worth $11,966. The $15,000 divided by 1.08 to the third power, that's my third year cash flow, is worth $11,718 after the cost of capital. So I subtract all those out. I take the $35,000 minus the $12,37, the $11,966, the $11,718, and I have remaining $10,997 to cover. I divide that by my $11,718. I have 0.93 years remaining. So I was able to subtract out year 1, year 2. I had this left to cover out of my $35,000, and that gives me 2.92 years. This is one of those that it's going to take you more than 90 seconds, right? Come back to it. Unless it's the same fucking numbers, then you know what it says. You know that they were really lazy.
It's happened before.
That would be so awesome.
By the way, in the summer, they use the same exams. And my students I had people that finished it in 40 minutes. You know this is a 2-hour, 35-minute exam, right? I know this fall they changed the numbers, but in the summer they didn't because they were on vacation. I don't know. But then people are, they're going to change the numbers, minimum. All right, here's a whack question. You're going to have one like this. So here, you're going to have to come up with the weights using the market values. You're going to have to figure out the before tax cost of debt, the after tax cost of debt. What do you use in your whack?
After tax.
Nancy. I guess in the homework they had you use before tax. All right. Common stock. What 2 forms can you use? You can use your CAPM or what? Dividend discount model, right? So my R equals my D1 over P0 plus G. So if they give you the beta, you're going to use your CAPM. You're going to have to know these formulas. They are on the cards, but you're going to have to know them. Or you're going to have to use the dividend discount model. So, how do you figure out your before tax cost of debt? Yield to maturity. I've got 200 fucking people and no one can answer the question. You did.
Yes.
All right, so let's do that.
I want to give the other class a chance.
So, you're shy. Get over it. All right. Get over remember it now before you marry somebody, because that's when they dump you, because I was very shy, I never spoke, and my mom's like,
You?
"What?"
Yes.
Call my mom, I'll give you her number. I was the one that never talked, rode my tricycle backwards, I was very retarded. What happened? You know? She's like, I can't believe you talk the way you do now. It's like, all right, so we're gonna have to figure out our yield to maturity. We know that I'm gonna use the actual, I'm gonna go back and I think, I'm gonna do the 97. I changed it here because there's another sheet that has this exact page on it. So if your bonds are selling for 97% of par, what's your present price of that bond? 1,000 times the 97%, $970. My coupon, if they didn't tell me semi-annual, they told me annual, thank God. So my coupon is 1,000 times the 7.5%, so my coupon is, or payment, is $75. My interest rate, you're given that, no, you're figuring that, excuse me, because that's your yield to maturity. So put all this in your calculator. I have $1,000, that's my face value. My coupons are 75. That's my payment. My number of periods is 20, right?
Yes.
And my present value is negative, it's 970. $7.8. This is different than what's over here because I changed it, okay? So if I'm gonna figure out my true cost of debt, I have to multiply it by my tax rate, 1 minus my tax rate. So that's my 7.8% multiplied by 1 minus my tax rate. Thank you, Donald. Let's hope he can do something. I don't know. 0.80 times 7.8. So my weighted average cost of debt is 6.24%. That's what you're gonna use in your equation, not this. The company's cost of common stock, they're giving you the return on the market, the risk-free rate. I think they gave you the beta up here somewhere.
They did.
Where is it?
1.08.
I changed it 1.2 on this
Yeah.
one. Yeah. You're right, the other one I posted. Okay. So I keep this in mind. What does market risk premium mean?
I already figured it out.
Expected rate minus.
It's the market rate.
That's my RM minus my RF.
Yeah.
I don't want you missing points. If they say the market return, that's RM. If they say the market risk premium, it's RM minus RF. So there's my risk-free rate, 4%. My beta is 1.2 multiplied by my market risk premium of 10% minus the 4%. My cost of common stock is 11.2%. Preferred stock is pretty easy. I changed the dollar amount on that too. So my dividend, it's dividend over my current price. So that's the $8 over the $95. My preferred cost right now is 8.42%. Now I'm gonna take all those costs, and this is, if you have time, this is the part that takes the most time. You have to figure out the market rates. So I take the $50,000 in bonds, I multiply it by the current market price. So this is my market weight of the bonds. 448,500 is my weight of my debt. My preferred stock is 150 shares multiplied by the market price of $95. That means I have $14,250 per thousand outstanding in preferred stock. Common stock, 1,000 shares multiplied by my current price of $50 is $50,000. I add all those up. That's my total market weight of 112,750. How do I figure out my weights? I simply take the 48,000 divided by the 112,750. Do the same for the preferred and the common. I need to figure out my WAC. But I didn't do that. So be able to do this, figure out those three costs, debt, common stock, preferred stock. And then you figure out your market weights, and then what are you gonna do with those weights? You're gonna multiply those weights by each of these, right?